chosen one. Listen with all of your spirit. You are not reading these words by chance. Heaven has interrupted your scrolling, stilled the noise around you, and placed this message directly before your eyes. You may not even realize it yet, but this moment is sacred. It is a divine appointment written long before you were born. You have always known there was something different about you. The world tried to convince you that you were ordinary, but deep inside you sensed a fire that refused to go out. Others might have dismissed you, mocked your sensitivity, or overlooked your worth. But none of that erased the mark heaven placed upon your life. You are chosen, set apart, called for a purpose greater than the opinions of men. Yet being chosen is not easy. It is a weight, a crown before it becomes glory. You have endured nights where the silence was heavy, mornings where your strength felt spent, and seasons where prayers seemed unanswered. Still, you did not collapse. Still, you stand. And that is the very evidence that the hand of God has been sustaining you when you could not carry yourself. Picture a lamp in a storm. The winds scream. The rain lashes against it. Shadows try to smother it. Yet the flame flickers but never dies. That lamp is you. Hell has tried to blow you out, but the breath of God keeps your light alive. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff. They comfort me. Do you feel it? This is not just ancient poetry, it is your present reality. You have walked through valleys, you have brushed against shadows, and yet you were never abandoned. There was always a presence, guiding, a staff defending, a voice whispering in the darkness, keep walking. You are not finished. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man who felt forgotten. He prayed for years, yet answers seemed delayed. His friends rose into success while he stayed behind in waiting. He thought silence meant heaven had overlooked him, but the truth was different. The delay was shaping him, forging endurance in his bones, teaching him to walk by faith when sight failed. When his appointed season finally arrived, he was not the weak, doubtful boy he had been. He was a man of vision and courage. That story is not fiction. It is a mirror of your own journey. Every unanswered prayer has been a rehearsal for your appointed hour. Now hear me. October 8th is not just another day on the calendar. It is a doorway. For some, it will pass like any other sunrise. But for the chosen, it will be a turning point. Do not let slumber steal it from you. Do not let distraction drown it. The ground beneath your feet is already shifting. Heaven has circled that day with fire. Imagine standing before a massive gate carved with ancient symbols. In your hand rests a key glowing with light. You can ignore it, keep it hidden in your pocket, and remain outside forever. Or you can place that key in the lock and push the gate wide open. That is the choice set before you. And this very message is the key being offered. Chosen one. If your heart is burning as you read, respond. Tap the like button, not for me, but as a sign that you are in agreement with heaven. Share this with someone you sense is fighting battles in silence. And if you know deep inside this word is yours, mark it publicly by commenting the number 555. That number will not just be digits on a screen, it will be your declaration. I hear. I believe. I am ready. And do not forget, stay connected. Subscribe now, not because you need another notification, but because you cannot afford to drift when God is aligning messages for your exact season. You need this flow. You need this stream of words that remind you, you are chosen, you are covered, and your time is closer than you think. October 8th is drawing near. Walk alert. Stay awake. The valley will not hold you. The gate is waiting. And when that day dawns, you will look back and realize every tear, every night of silence, every unseen struggle was not wasted. They were bricks, building the road to this exact moment. October 8th, the day heaven reveals why you were chosen. You need to understand something that has been hidden in plain sight. There is a war that has been raging around you long before you realized it. Not a war fought with swords or bullets, but a war fought in whispers, in unseen realms, in the weight that presses on your chest when the room is quiet. Darkness has known about your calling even before you did. And that is why you have felt resistance in places others walk freely. It explains why doors that should have opened for you stayed shut. It explains why relationships that seemed promising collapsed without warning. It explains why battles seemed to find you even when you weren't looking for trouble. You are not cursed, you are marked. And because of that mark, you have been targeted. Think about this. When an army invades, they don't waste their firepower on abandoned buildings. They go after the strongholds, the fortresses, the treasures worth guarding. You, chosen one, are that fortress. Your spirit carries value. Your destiny is a treasure chest locked with divine purpose, and the enemy has been trying to breach it for years. I want you to picture an ancient battlefield at night. Torches burn along the ridge. Soldiers gather in shadows, drawing maps in the dirt. They whisper strategies, pointing to a single tent in the distance. That tent is yours. That is how focused the opposition has been against you. But here is the truth. If you were not dangerous to darkness, they would never bother with you. The Word of God declares in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind." That verse is not an empty comfort. It is your weapon. Fear has tried to disguise itself as your own voice, whispering that you will fail, that you are not enough, that the weight is too much. But fear is not your inheritance. Power is. Love is. A sound mind is. Every time fear shows up, it only reveals that you are walking too close to the threshold of breakthrough. I recall the story of a woman who felt her entire life was warfare. Every time she saved money, calamity struck. Every time she trusted someone, betrayal followed. Every time she built something, it was torn down. She began to believe she was cursed. But over time, as she pressed into God, she realized the opposite was true. She was chosen, and that was why resistance shadowed her. The enemy had seen a glimpse of the crown that heaven had prepared for her, and if he could break her in the waiting, he could delay the rising. But she refused to bow, and one day, the very battles that tried to bury her became the testimony that lifted her voice to nations. That same pattern is written into your journey. You have faced blows that could have ended you, yet you are still standing. And that is the greatest frustration of darkness. You should have been broken, but you are not. You should have been silent. but your voice still echoes. You should have been crushed. But somehow, you are still walking forward. Let me give you another picture. Imagine a diamond in the making. While it lies as coal, it is underestimated, stepped on, discarded. But when pressure surrounds it, when heat consumes it, when time has its full effect, it transforms into something unbreakable and radiant. That is you. Your pressure has not been wasted. Your waiting has not been pointless. Every attack has only revealed what heaven already knows. You are precious beyond measure. This is why you cannot compare your journey to others. Their path is different because their assignment is different. You have been entrusted with a higher weight. And because of that, you face higher opposition. But remember, weight is proof of worth. No thief breaks into an empty vault. The opposition you feel right now is not the end, it is confirmation. The more intense the war, the greater the treasure it surrounds. You are not fighting for nothing. You are fighting for destiny. You are fighting for generations after you. You are fighting for the people who will one day be set free because you endured. So the next time you feel the shadows press in, remember, you are not the hunted, you are the guarded. Heaven has drawn its circle around you. Angels have been assigned to your side. Every arrow fired at you has already been intercepted more times than you realize. Do not despise the resistance. It is the evidence of your relevance. It is the sign that you are exactly where you need to be. And October 8th is not coming to expose your defeat. It is coming to unveil your victory. You have walked through storms others could not survive. And yet, when people look at you, they often see only the surface smiles. Strength, composure. What they don't see are the nights you prayed until your body trembled. The mornings you rose with swollen eyes, but still carried yourself as if nothing was broken. Those unseen tears have not been ignored. Heaven has bottled each one, counted them, and written them in the scroll of remembrance. Every sigh you thought was lost in the air was heard. Every whispered, "Why?" that never reached human ears, reached the throne of God. You may feel like your pain is invisible, but in truth, it is more visible in heaven than even your triumphs. And that is why your story is not over. There was once a man who worked tirelessly for years, building his life with everything he had. Yet every time he took 2 steps forward, something dragged him 3 steps back. He lost friendships. He lost opportunities. He even lost faith in himself. But one night, while sitting alone, he cried out, not eloquently, not with the perfect prayer, but with raw honesty. And in that moment, something shifted. He realized that the God who sees in secret was not waiting for polished words, but for a surrendered heart. From that day, small doors began to open. It didn't all change at once, but slowly, piece by piece. Restoration came. Chosen one. I tell you this because your story carries the same fragrance. What you think disqualified you is exactly what qualifies you for breakthrough. The cracks in your life are not signs of weakness, they are the very places where God's light shines the brightest. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 22, a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Notice this truth. The condition of your spirit determines the strength of your steps. You can endure loss and still stand tall if your spirit is alive. But when your spirit is crushed, even the smallest burden feels unbearable. That is why God has been breathing life into your inner being, even in the shadows. Picture yourself as a clay jar. To the eye, you may look fragile, cracked, unworthy of being chosen. Yet within you is a treasure, a light that cannot be extinguished. The enemy has tried to break the jar, thinking if he shattered the vessel, the treasure would be lost. But here is the mystery. Every crack only allows the light to shine out brighter. The jar is not your destiny. The treasure inside is. So, I invite you now to respond with a simple act of faith. Type in the comments, "Fire within me." Do you know why these words matter? Because when you declare them, you are not just describing yourself, you are awakening yourself. You are saying that no matter how dark the night, there is a flame inside you that refuses to die. You are confessing that the fire placed by God within you is stronger than any storm outside of you. Every time you write it, you are fueling that inner blaze, reminding your spirit that it is not weak, it is not done, it is burning with divine purpose. This is not about empty engagement. This is about agreement. When you write those words, you are not just leaving a comment, you are proclaiming to heaven and to your own soul, the flame is alive. I carry light. All food. Your unseen tears are not wasted. Your silent prayers are not forgotten. October 8th is approaching, and with it, a revealing of why you had to endure this path. Hold fast. Lift your eyes, and remember, the fire within you is the reason you are still standing. And here is the deeper truth. The fire within you is not ordinary. It is not the fire of ambition, nor the fire of stubborn willpower. It is the fire of the Spirit, the same breath that hovered over the waters in the beginning, the same presence that raised dry bones to life. That fire is not sustained by you, it is sustained by God. That is why it has never gone out. Even in your weakest hours, think of a coal buried in ashes. To the eye, it looks extinguished, but when wind touches it, the glow returns, spreading heat once more. Your spirit is like that coal. Life may have buried it under ashes of disappointment, but heaven's breath is stirring. Soon, the glow will become a blaze, and others will warm themselves by your testimony. So when you declare, "Fire within me," you are saying more than words. You are partnering with heaven's truth. You are choosing to believe that your life is not about what was taken from you, but about what still burns within you. And from that fire, your future will rise. October 8th. To most, it is only a date on a calendar. To you, it is an intersection, a crossroads where past and future collide. What you have endured up until now has been pointing toward it. The unanswered questions, the waiting seasons, the heavy nights, all have been building toward this appointed hour. Chosen one. You need to understand how heaven works. God moves in patterns and timings. There are moments that pass without much weight, and there are moments etched into eternity long before they arrive. These are kairos moments, divine interruptions that alter the entire trajectory of a life. And October 8th has been written as one such moment for you. Think of Joshua standing before the Jordan River. For years, the people wandered, waiting for a promise. Then suddenly, on a single day, God commanded them to step into the waters. When the priests touched the river with the ark, the current stopped, and the people crossed on dry ground. 40 years of wilderness was swallowed in a single act of obedience. That is what divine timing looks like, when the ordinary becomes extraordinary, because God chooses the moment. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. This verse is often quoted lightly, but pause and let it sink into your spirit. God does not plan chaos. He does not design despair. The wilderness seasons you endured were not authored to destroy you. They were meant to refine you, to prepare you to receive without crumbling under the weight of blessing. Imagine standing at a crossroads in a dense forest. One path is wide, smooth, inviting. The other is narrow, rocky, almost hidden. The wide road promises comfort, but leads only to circles. The narrow road requires courage, but at the end it bursts into an open field filled with light. October 8th represents that narrow road. Many will miss it because they cannot see beyond the thorns. But you are different. You have been trained in the wilderness to recognize the faint glow of God's path, even when the way looks small. There is something profound about divine appointments. They rarely look dramatic at first glance. David was anointed king while still smelling of sheep and dust. Mary received the announcement of the Messiah, not in a palace but in a quiet room. Peter heard his call beside a boat of empty nets. The extraordinary often disguises itself in the ordinary. That is why your eyes must stay open. Let me share a story. A young man once struggled with feeling unseen. He worked faithfully, but nobody noticed. Every day felt like another circle of effort with no reward. But one day, without warning, he received a single call that changed everything. What looked like just another Tuesday became the hinge on which his entire destiny turned. That is what October 8th will resemble for you, ordinary in appearance, but extraordinary in outcome. October 8th is a threshold. When you cross it, some things will not come with you. Old mindsets, toxic attachments, fears you have carried, they will not fit through the doorway. That is why the days leading up to it may feel like shedding, like you are losing things you once leaned on. But do not fear the letting go. You are not being stripped, you are being streamlined for what is ahead. Think of an eagle preparing to soar higher. At certain altitudes, it releases weight because carrying too much will cost its wings. Likewise, you are being lightened. Heaven is adjusting your wings so that when the wind of October 8th arrives, you can rise without resistance. Chosen one. This is not about superstition. It is not about marking calendars in fear or anxiety. It is about discernment. It is about being awake enough to recognize when heaven has circled a moment for you. October 8th is not a deadline. It is an opening. It is not an end. It is a beginning. So, walk carefully. Stay watchful. Do not drown in distractions in the days leading to it. And when that morning arrives, breathe deeply. Knowing the weight you carried into this season is about to shift. The crossroads is before you, and the path you take will mark the rest of your journey. And when you step through, you will realize the delay was not denial. The pain was not punishment. And the silence was not abandonment. It was preparation for the door that only opens once October 8th. The appointed moment crafted just for you. There is something you need to see clearly now. The struggles you faced were never random. They were part of a war in which the enemy has always tried to twist truth into lies. He whispered through people who betrayed you, through voices that mocked your dreams, through accusations that cut deeper than any blade. Those who tried to shame you were not really the ones fighting against you. They were pawns in a larger battle. The enemy knows that if he can convince you to doubt your identity, he can paralyze your destiny. That is why false words have chased you for years. Yet here you are, still breathing, still walking. The fact that you survived lies is proof that truth is stronger. The light within you has already outshone the schemes against you. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 8, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair." Oh, do you hear it? This was written for you. Yes, you have been pressed. Yes, you have felt the weight. But no, you are not crushed. No, you have not been abandoned. Heaven has written endurance into your very spirit. Let me paint an image for you. Imagine a tree standing in a storm. The winds bend it. The rain lashes its branches. Yet its roots cling deep into the ground. Storm after storm passes, but the tree remains. Later, when the sun returns, that tree provides shade for weary travelers. That is you. The storms that almost broke you are the very reason others will one day find rest under your life. Chosen one. You need to understand something vital. The battles against you have always been confirmation of what you carry. People do not throw stones at empty fields. They throw them where fruit is growing. The enemy has tried to wound you because your life is fertile ground. And here is where I speak to your heart with sincerity. Messages like this, words that remind you of your calling, that strengthen your spirit, that keep you awake when the world tells you to sleep, do not appear by accident. They take time, prayer, and effort to bring forth. If these words have blessed you, if you feel your soul fed here, then I invite you not as a demand, but as an open door to support the work. Think of it like water poured into a well. Every drop keeps the well flowing so that others can drink. When you give, whether by tapping like, by sharing this word, by subscribing to stay connected, or even by donating from the heart, you are not paying for revelation. You are planting into a well that will refresh countless other chosen ones who stumble in weary, searching for a word to keep them alive. Support is not about obligation. It is about participation. It is saying, "This nourished me, and I want it to nourish others too." Some will give by pressing like. Some will sow by sharing this stream of light. Some will anchor themselves by subscribing, and others will choose to donate as a seed of faith. Each one is a spark, and sparks together create a fire that warms nations. Your like is a whisper of agreement. Your share is a torch passed to another traveler. Your subscribe is a root choosing to stay near the river. Your donation is oil poured into a lamp that will not go out. None of these are forced. They are invitations. They are ways of saying, "Let the flame burn brighter." Remember, the goal is not pressure, it is freedom. A tree never forces anyone to sit in its shade. It simply grows, and weary travelers come willingly. In the same way, this message offers you a chance to give freely, joyfully, and only if your spirit leads. Because what matters most is this: you are part of something larger than yourself. Every step you take, every act of faith you make, ripples outward. The words that strengthened you today may strengthen another tomorrow because you chose to keep the stream alive. So take this in your heart. You have survived lies. You have endured storms. And you are standing as proof that truth cannot be silenced. October 8th will not find you crushed. It will find you rooted and ready. And when the day comes, you will see that even the whispers of betrayal, the storms of rejection, and the shadows of doubt were all part of the soil that grew your roots deeper. What once tried to bury you has become the very ground from which you now rise stronger. October 8th will not simply mark a date, it will mark a testimony. It will be remembered as the day your endurance bore fruit. The day heaven revealed why the storm could not take you down. Stand tall, chosen one. The unveiling of your strength is nearer than you think. There is a mystery heaven is unveiling for you in this season. Numbers are not just mathematics. They are markers. All throughout Scripture, God has spoken through Numbers, 40 days of testing, 12 tribes of Israel, 7 lamps before the throne. Numbers are not coincidences, they are symbols of alignment. And for you, in this moment, a number carries weight, a confirmation that you are walking the path heaven designed. You have felt like your journey was scattered, like pieces of a puzzle spread out with no picture to follow. But what you call fragments, God calls foundations. Every delay, every trial, every season of silence has been a stone placed carefully in order. What feels like chaos to you is actually a divine sequence, a rhythm known only in heaven's language. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 2, verse 19. Nevertheless, God's solid foundation stands firm, sealed with this inscription: the Lord knows those who are His. And this is the assurance you are not overlooked. You are sealed. The foundation of your life has not been random. It has been set with eternal design. And now, October 8th draws near, not as a coincidence, but as a marker of alignment. Imagine a watchmaker carefully placing gears inside a timepiece. Each gear alone looks insignificant, yet when aligned, they create perfect rhythm. Your trials have been gears. Your tears have been gears. Your victories have been gears. And October 8th is the moment heaven winds the watch and says, now is the time. Let me share a story. There was once a woman who waited through years of struggle. She was faithful, but her life felt like a cycle of almosts and not yets. One night, as she prayed, she began to see a number repeating around her in dreams, in conversations, even in unexpected places. At first, she dismissed it as coincidence, but over time, she realized it was God's whisper. I see you. I have marked you. You are not forgotten. That number became a banner of encouragement over her life, reminding her she was in divine alignment even when she felt delayed. Chosen one. The same is true for you. Numbers can be a signpost, not to bind you in superstition, but to awaken your awareness. They remind you that heaven's eyes are on you and that you are not drifting without direction. And so here, right now, I invite you to declare alignment in a simple act of faith. Comment the number 444. Why 444? Because it is a number of foundation, a number of stability, a number that declares, I am built on what cannot be shaken. When you type it, you are saying, I choose to stand on the rock, not the sand. I choose to trust the sequence of heaven over the confusion of earth. And it may look simple on a screen, but in the spirit, It is powerful. 444 is your seal, your reminder that you are not scattered, you are aligned. Picture this: a great temple under construction. Stone after stone is laid, but to the eye it looks like random rubble. Yet when the architect steps back, the design emerges. That is your life. And your declaration of 444 is you saying, I trust the architect. I may not see the full design, but I know I am part of his building. No, do not underestimate small prophetic acts. A simple word, a simple number, a simpler declaration can shift your perspective, can remind your heart what your spirit already knows: you are chosen. You are sealed. You are aligned. You have wandered through valleys, faced storms, endured nights of silence, but every step has been counted. Every tear has been marked. Every breath has been recorded. October 8th will not be a random sunrise. It will be heaven's declaration. The time is now. So let this number rest in your heart. Write it. Remember it. Speak it when doubt rises. 444 is not magic. It is memory. It is your reminder that the foundation of your life is not fragile. It is eternal. You are not drifting. You are not forgotten. You are aligned. And the unveiling is closer than you realize. And when October 8th dawns, you will feel it in your spirit. The sense that pieces long scattered are finally fitting together. What once looked like broken fragments will reveal themselves as part of a larger, unshakable design. Hold this truth close. Your steps are not wasted. Your path is not random. And your alignment is already sealed. In heaven's book, there are weights you have carried that few could understand. Some burdens you never spoke of because you feared others would not believe you. Or worse, that they would dismiss your pain with shallow words. Yet the weight remained, pressing on your shoulders, demanding that you walk with strength when inside you longed for rest. Chosen one, you have carried responsibilities that were not entirely yours. You picked up broken pieces for others. You stood in the gap when those around you collapsed. You became the pillar in homes, workplaces, and friendships where everyone leaned on you. Yet rarely did anyone notice the toll it took on your soul. It is here that your story mirrors a pattern found throughout Scripture. Think of Moses, called to lead an entire people out of slavery. The weight was so heavy that he cried out to God, saying he could not bear it alone. Or think of Esther, thrust into the palace not for her own comfort, but for the survival of her people. To be chosen is often to carry more than seems fair. According to what is written in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. This verse is not a cliché, it is an anchor. It reminds you that even the invisible weight you carry has purpose. The long nights of perseverance, the unseen sacrifices, the silent prayers offered for others, they have not vanished into nothingness. They are seeds, planted deep, waiting for their harvest. Let me share with you the story of a man who carried quietly. He was the eldest son in his family. When his father left, the responsibility of caring for his siblings fell on him. He worked long hours, often going without, so that his family could survive. To the world, he was strong, but inwardly, he felt unseen, almost invisible. Yet, years later, Those siblings flourished because of his sacrifice. What felt like a crushing burden in the moment became the testimony that preserved lives. This echoes your own story. What you thought was wasted strength is not wasted at all. Heaven has recorded every act of quiet faithfulness, every hidden endurance. The harvest is waiting, and the time is near. Picture a bridge spanning over a rushing river, day after day. Heavy trucks pass across it. Nobody stops to admire the bridge. Few even notice it. Yet without it, journeys would end, and lives would remain stuck on one side. You, chosen one, have been that bridge. You have carried the weight so others could cross. And while they may not have seen your value, heaven has. Do not mistake silence for neglect. Just because others failed to acknowledge your strength does not mean heaven overlooked it. God has been watching, and every step you took with that heavy load has been noted in eternity. Sometimes the greatest evidence of calling is the weight entrusted to you. Weak vessels are never given great burdens. They would break, but you were given more because you were built to endure more. That does not mean the weight has been easy. It means that even in the heaviness, your spirit has proven unbreakable. Think of coal again, pressed and crushed under the earth. The pressure does not destroy it, it transforms it into diamond. In the same way, the pressures you have borne have been shaping you into something rare, something unbreakable, something that reflects light with brilliance. So when you look back at the burdens you carried, financial stress, broken relationships, hidden struggles with identity, moments when you almost collapsed, see them not as evidence of weakness, but as evidence of your capacity. You carried what others could not. You stood when others fell. And though your back bent under the load, it never snapped. Chosen one. October 8th will not come to heap more weight on you. It will come to reveal the reason you carried it. The burden was not punishment. It was preparation. The weight you bore was training you for authority. You could not have gained any other way. The crown does not rest on empty heads. It rests on those who have carried, who have endured, who have proven that they can be trusted with responsibility. Your crown is being forged in the very weight you thought would break you. So, take courage. The heaviness of this season is not your end. It is your evidence. You have carried what others could not. And soon you will see why. October 8th is not the day the burden increases. It is the day the burden makes sense. There are moments in life when everything seems to pause, as if time itself holds its breath. You may not notice it at first. Perhaps it comes while you are sitting in silence after a long day, or when you feel an unusual stillness in your spirit. These pauses are not emptiness. They are interruptions from heaven. They are moments when the eternal breaks into the ordinary, when God halts the noise of the world to speak directly to you. You might recall a time when suddenly you felt compelled to stop and reflect. Without knowing why, the distractions around you faded, and for a brief moment, it felt like your heart was tuned to another frequency. That was heaven pausing everything to remind you, you are not forgotten. I am here. And it is in these pauses that some of the most profound revelations come. Think of Moses standing before the burning bush. It was an ordinary day in the wilderness, watching sheep, until a flame that did not consume the bush demanded his attention. Time paused. He removed his sandals, realizing he was standing on holy ground. Or think of Samuel as a boy, lying in the temple. In the stillness of the night, a voice called his name. No thunder, no earthquake, just a whisper that shifted the course of his entire life. These interruptions may seem small, but they carry eternal weight. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." This is the essence of heaven's pause. It is not about forcing you into activity, but about inviting you into rest, a rest that restores your spirit and recalibrates your vision. In these moments, you are not being asked to perform, but simply to listen, to receive, to realign. Imagine walking through a forest. The birds sing, the leaves rustle, the river flows. Then suddenly, the forest grows silent. No sound, no movement. It is as if the world is waiting for something. That silence is weighty, almost sacred. This is what it feels like when heaven pauses for you. The noise dies down so the whisper can be heard. There was once a young woman who lived in a constant rush. Work, family, expectations. Her days blurred together in exhaustion. One evening, after another long day, she collapsed onto her bed, weary and drained. Yet in the stillness, she felt a peace settle on her chest. For the first time in years, she breathed without pressure. Tears came, not of despair, but of release. She realized heaven had paused her life for a reason. That night, she received clarity about decisions she had been afraid to make. A single pause became the turning point of her journey. Chosen one, you too are being invited into such pauses. October 8th will not arrive with endless noise, but with a stillness that speaks louder than thunder. God does not always reveal himself in earthquakes and fire. Often, it is in the gentle whisper that his presence is most powerful. These pauses are not empty. They are filled with preparation. They are like the interlude in a symphony. When instruments fall silent before the music swells again with greater power, in that silence, your heart resets, your ears sharpen, your spirit awakens. Do not despise the pause. Many see silence as absence, but in reality, it is presence intensified. When heaven interrupts your routine, it is an act of love. It is a reminder that your journey is not being ignored, it is being guided. Picture a potter at his wheel. The clay spins, hands shape, water smooths. Then, at times, the potter stops. His hands lift. The wheel slows. It seems like nothing is happening. Yet in that pause, he is seeing, assessing, planning the next move. The pause is not neglect, it is intention. So it is with your life. When it feels like nothing is moving, heaven is shaping your next step. Chosen one. The pause before October 8th is not a void. It is the womb of transformation. It is the space where you are being positioned for what is coming. Do not rush it. Do not resent it. Sit in it, and let heaven's whisper prepare you. The world may see pause as weakness, but you will learn it is strength. For in that silence, you will find direction. In that stillness, you will find clarity. And when the pause lifts, you will rise into motion with a power that noise could never give you. Everything familiar in your life may soon tremble. What you thought was steady may shake. What you assumed unmovable may shift. Do not let fear overtake you. This is not destruction. It is transformation. Before a new foundation can be revealed, the old ground must first be unsettled. Remember how the walls of Jericho fell. The people marched in obedience. And on the seventh day, the sound shook the foundations until the walls crumbled. It looked like chaos, but it was actually the beginning of promise. In the same way, shaking in your life is not the end. It is the preparation for the opening of doors. The Word of God declares in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 27, the words, once more, indicate the removing of what can be shaken, that is, created, things so that what cannot be shaken may remain. This is not a warning of loss. It is an announcement of purification. The shaking strips away the false supports you were never meant to lean on. It leaves behind only what is eternal, unshakable and true. Imagine an old building being renovated. Dust fills the air. Walls are torn down. Floors are ripped apart. To an outsider, it looks like destruction. But to the architect, it is progress. The shaking is necessary to reveal the new design hidden beneath the debris. There was once a man who lived for stability. He loved routine, familiar patterns, predictable days. Then suddenly, everything around him shifted. He lost his job. His friendships changed. His plans fell apart. At first, he thought it was punishment, but over time, he realized it was protection. The shaking removed what was fragile so that God could plant him in soil that would actually last. Chosen one. The shaking in your life is not random. It is evidence that God is moving. Do not be alarmed if certain doors close, if relationships shift, if paths you once trusted collapse. These are not endings, they are adjustments. They are heaven's way of removing what was never meant to sustain you. Picture yourself as a tree in a storm. The wind tears at your branches, and loose leaves scatter. It looks violent, but when the storm passes, what remains are the roots and branches that were strong enough to endure. The storm does not kill the tree, it proves its strength. And here is where I invite you to make a declaration. Type in the comments, rooted deep is one. Why these words? Because they embody the truth of who you are becoming. Your roots are not shallow. They reach into the soil of eternity, drawing strength unseen by human eyes. Declaring rooted deep is not just about survival, it is about stability, about thriving even in the face of storms. It is you saying, my foundation cannot be ripped away, because it is not built on sand, but on the rock. When you leave this declaration, you are not just strengthening yourself, you are also sending a signal to others. Someone passing by, feeling uprooted by their own battles, too will see your words. And remember, they too have roots that run deep. And heaven will see your faith inscribed in that simple phrase. So do not fear the shaking. Embrace it. Let it strip away what was false. Let it expose what is eternal. Because when the ground settles, you will find yourself standing stronger than before. October 8th will not reveal your collapse. It will reveal your unshakable foundation. And when the shaking ends, what remains will be the truest parts of you. Not the masks you wore to survive. Not the false supports you leaned on for comfort. Only the pure foundation, tested and proven, will stand unbroken. That is the version of you that God is unveiling. Think of gold refined in fire. Impurities rise to the surface, not because the gold is weak, but because it is being made pure. In the same way, your trials have been the furnace. The shaking has been the fire. What is left in you is not weakness, it is refined strength, precious and radiant. So when you declare, rooted deep, you are doing more than resisting the storm. You are embracing the refining. You are saying, let the fire come. Let the shaking test me. I will not only survive, I will emerge shining, stronger than before. That is why your declaration carries weight in the spirit. October 8th will not be remembered as the day of collapse. It will be remembered as the day you stood, unshaken and unmovable, revealing roots that could not be pulled out. And from those roots, new growth will burst forth, branches spreading wide, fruit appearing in season, life flowing into every dry place. Your journey has not been wasted. Every trial, every delay, every burden has been shaping something within you. Like a craftsman working on a crown, heaven has been refining you with precision. A crown is not made overnight. It is hammered, polished, and adorned until it reflects glory. You, chosen one, are being prepared for a crown of authority and honor. When you look at your past, you may see only scars, but those scars are proof of survival, and survival is proof of purpose. Think of a warrior returning from battle. His armor is dented. His body bears marks of the fight, but his head is lifted high because he has endured. That is you. You carry the evidence of struggle, but more importantly, you carry the evidence of endurance. The ancient words recorded in the book of James, chapter 1, verset 12 declare, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." Do you see it? The crown is not given to the swift or the untested. It is given to the ones who have stood. That is why every tear and every night of silence mattered. They were shaping you to wear something eternal. Imagine a crown made of light. Each jewel represents a season you survived. One gem for every loss you overcame. One gem for every rejection that could not break you. One gem for every battle that tried to crush you, but failed. When placed together, they shine with such brilliance that darkness cannot approach. That is the crown reserved for you. And here is where I speak to your heart sincerely. Words like these, reminders of your destiny, affirmations of your worth, revelations of God's plan, are not random echoes. They are seeds sown for you, carefully nurtured so that they may grow in your spirit. If these words have touched you, strengthened you, or reminded you of who you are, then I invite you, gently and freely, to respond in ways that keep this stream alive. You can do that by pressing like, which is like planting a small seed in soil. It may seem simple, but it multiplies when combined with others. You can do it by sharing this message, like handing a torch to someone still stumbling in the dark, giving them a light to follow. You can do it by subscribing, which is like anchoring your roots near a flowing river, ensuring you remain nourished in every season. And if you feel led, you can even donate, not as a price, not as a duty, but as an act of love. Think of it as pouring oil into a lamp. It ensures the flame burns not just for you, but for every traveler still searching for light. Support is not about transaction, it is about participation. When you give, you are not giving to a person, you are giving to the mission of reminding countless chosen ones of their worth. Every click, every share, every seed sown becomes part of a river that flows wider and deeper, reaching souls who might otherwise drown in silence. There was once a man who thought his contribution was too small to matter. He doubted that his single act could change anything. But years later, he discovered that the small seed he planted had grown into a tree under which many found shade. That is what your support is like. It may feel small, but it becomes part of something eternal. Chosen one, your crown awaits. But crowns are not worn in isolation. They are shared testimonies. When you choose to engage, when you choose to sow, you are not only strengthening yourself, you are ensuring others discover their crown as well. So let this be clear. There is no compulsion here. The crown cannot be bought. It cannot be earned with money or clicks. It is given freely by God to those who endure. Yet you are invited to participate in something beautiful to keep this flow alive, to keep the oil in the lamp burning, to keep the well overflowing for those who thirst. Every like is a whisper of agreement. Every share is a hand extended to another soul. Every subscribe is a choice to remain close to the stream. Every donation is a drop of oil poured into the flame. All of them together create a fire that will not be extinguished. Oktober 8th draws near, and with it, the unveiling of why you had to endure. The crown you have been prepared for is closer than you realize, and as you step into that day, remember, you are not walking alone. You are part of a family of chosen ones, each of us carrying light, each of us passing the torch, each of us keeping the flame alive. There are moments when the voice of mercy grows faint, when the heart feels the weight of delay pressing heavy, and when time itself seems to stretch into endless waiting. You may know this feeling well, the sense that doors are closing faster than they open, that opportunities slip away like water through fingers. Yet even in such moments, heaven has been speaking, warning, and inviting you to awaken before it is too late. You see, mercy is abundant, but it is not without limit. There are seasons where God's voice calls louder, His signs shine brighter, His hand extends further. These seasons are not meant to frighten you, they are meant to stir you from complacency. For to delay endlessly, to harden the heart, is to risk stepping outside the covering you were meant to live under. The prophet Elijah spoke, as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 21, "How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him." This question echoes still. It is the same question that presses on you in this very hour. How long will you delay your obedience, your surrender, your choice to walk fully in the calling over your life? October 8th stands as more than a date. It is a reminder that decisions cannot be postponed forever. Think of a ship at sea. The captain knows the tide will shift at a certain hour. If he delays too long, the waters turn against him, and the chance to sail into safe harbor is lost. In the same way, your hesitation can cost you moments that will not return, not because God is cruel, but because life moves forward, and missed doors do not always reopen. There was once a man who heard the call of God in his youth. He felt the stirring, the invitation to live differently, to align with a higher purpose. But he delayed, telling himself there would be more time later. Years passed, and each time the call came, he silenced it with excuses. One day, the voice grew quiet. The opportunity was still available, but his heart had grown too dull to perceive it. His greatest regret was not failure, but hesitation. Chosen one. This is why the present moment is so sacred. To harden your heart is to risk blindness, to risk missing what was meant for you. Mercy is still extended now, but the question is, will you step into it before it withdraws? Picture a door slowly closing, the sunlight streaming through narrows with each passing moment. You can run to it and pass through while there is still light, or you can linger until the last sliver vanishes. The door represents opportunity, alignment, destiny. The closing is not meant to terrify you, but to awaken urgency. Do not think that waiting always means wisdom. There are times when waiting is obedience, but there are also times when waiting is disobedience masked in comfort. The difference lies in discernment, listening for when God says, "Be still," and when he says, "Move now." The seriousness of this cannot be understated, for if you delay too long, the weight of regret becomes heavier than the weight of obedience ever could. You are standing in a narrow space, one rebellion away from blindness, one hesitation away from missing a crown meant only for you. But do not mistake this for condemnation. The very fact that you are here, listening to these words, is proof that mercy is still calling your name. The door is not yet shut. The light is not yet gone. The invitation is still open. What remains is your choice. Think of Israel standing at the edge of the promised land. They had seen miracles, tasted provision, walked under the cloud of glory. Yet when the time came to step forward, fear held them back. Their hesitation cost them 40 years of wandering, not because God abandoned them, but because their own choice delayed their destiny. So too, you stand at a threshold. October 8th will not be merely another day. It will be a crossroads. It will be a reminder that hesitation can cost dearly, but obedience unlocks everything. Chosen one. Do not let the weight of regret become your story. Let the seriousness of this moment awaken you. Heaven is not asking for perfection, only for response. The choice remains in your hands. Step forward while the door is still open, while the light still shines. Do not wait for another season. This moment is the one heaven carved with your name upon it. There is a rhythm written into creation. The stars move in patterns. The sea follows its tides. The seasons turn faithfully. None of this is random, it is alignment. A divine order echoing the wisdom of God. And in the same way, your life has been woven into this rhythm. Even when it felt like you were wandering off beat, even when silence seemed louder than guidance, there has always been an unseen order carrying you forward. At times, you may have wondered if you missed your way. You thought, maybe I took the wrong turn. Maybe I wasted too much time. But heaven whispers differently. Every detour, every delay, every valley has been permitted with purpose. Nothing is wasted when you are in the hands of the one who sees the end from the beginning. It was declared in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. All things, not some. Not most, but all. Even the heartbreaks, even the betrayals, even the losses you thought would end you. They have been folded into the pattern of your destiny. The enemy thought they were endings, but God has used them as beginnings. Imagine a tapestry being woven. Up close, all you see are tangled threads, knots, and colors that seem to clash. But step back, and a grand design is revealed. Every detail, purposeful. Your life is that tapestry. October 8th will be like the moment you step back and finally glimpse the pattern. There was once a woman who lived through seasons of relentless trials. Nothing in her life seemed aligned. Her career faltered. Her relationships broke. Her health wavered. She prayed, but heaven seemed silent. Then one evening, as she sat reflecting, she noticed a number appear again and again in messages, in dreams, even on receipts. At first, she dismissed it, but over time, she realized it was God's reminder. You are not lost. You are aligned. That number became her anchor in seasons when chaos tried to convince her otherwise. Chosen one. Heaven still speaks through numbers, not to bind you in superstition, but to remind you of alignment. Numbers are markers of God's rhythm, reminders that you are seen and sealed. And today, I invite you to declare alignment by typing the number 222 inches, the comments. Why 222? Because it is a number of confirmation and agreement. It speaks of God's promise to establish His word, to bring order where there has been confusion, to align your steps with His purpose. When you type it, you are not playing with digits. You are declaring, my life is in alignment with heaven's design. I walk not in chaos, but in divine order. Think of standing at a crossroads where three paths converge. Without direction, the choice feels overwhelming. But then, a voice whispers, pointing clearly to the right road. That is what 222 represents. Clarity in the middle of confusion. Alignment in the middle of options. When you write 222, you are stepping into agreement with God's voice over your life. You are saying, I choose the ordered path. I choose alignment over disorder. I choose His design over my confusion. No, picture a compass needle swinging wildly in a storm, then finally settling, pointing north. That moment of stillness, of certainty, that is what this declaration is. It centers you. It reminds you that no matter how much the storm rages, you are oriented toward true north, and you will not be the only one strengthened by this act. Someone scrolling, unsure of their place, will see your comment and be stirred to believe they are also aligned. Your declaration becomes a ripple, reaching hearts you may never meet. So remember this: October 8th will not come to announce disorder. It will come to reveal order. It will be the day heaven shows you that the scattered pieces of your journey were never scattered at all. They were part of a sequence, carefully aligned to bring you to this moment. Hold this number in your spirit. Let 222 remind you that your life is not a random collection of struggles and victories, but a pattern, a rhythm, a testimony in the making. You are aligned, you are seen, and you are stepping into the season where that alignment will be unveiled. And when the unveiling comes, you will see why the detours mattered, why the delays shaped you, and why the silence was holy. Each piece was positioned, each moment aligned, each step divinely measured. This is the beauty of God's order. Nothing is wasted. Even your pain becomes part of the masterpiece. And as you carry 222 inches, your heart, let it remind you, daily, you are not wandering aimlessly. You are walking in rhythm with eternity. You may not always feel it, but you are not walking alone. There are forces moving on your behalf. Assignments from heaven that you cannot see with your natural eyes. While you sleep, they stand guard. While you weep, they strengthen. While you walk through valleys, they walk beside you. You are surrounded more than you realize. Throughout Scripture, there are glimpses of these reinforcements. When Elisha's servant panicked at the sight of an enemy army, the prophet prayed, "Open his eyes, Lord." Suddenly, the young man saw the hills filled with horses and chariots of fire surrounding them. What seemed like certain defeat was actually divine protection. The same is true for you, though your eyes may not always see. The hills of your life are not empty. They are filled with sent ones assigned to your journey. According to what is revealed in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." And these words are not abstract promises. They are literal coverings. You have survived situations you cannot fully explain, car accidents narrowly avoided, illnesses that should have been worse, battles that should have broken you, but somehow didn't. All of these moments bear the fingerprints of unseen hands. Think of a soldier marching into battle with a shield bearer beside him. The shield bearer may never strike a sword, but without him, the soldier would fall to the first arrow. Angels are your shield bearers. They carry the weight of battles you were never meant to fight alone. There was once a woman who felt utterly abandoned. Every corner of her life seemed attacked. One night, overwhelmed, she whispered, "God, I cannot do this anymore." In the stillness, she felt peace settle over her like a blanket. Later, looking back, she realized that at her lowest point, something had carried her as strength, not her own. A presence unseen but undeniable. That was heaven's reinforcement. Chosen one. You must remember, the enemy's power is noise, but heaven's power is presence. Darkness tries to overwhelm you with fear, but the presence of God and His angels steadies your steps. That is why you keep moving forward when by all logic you should have stopped long ago. Imagine a traveler walking through a dangerous valley at night. To his eyes, it looks empty, but torches glow on the ridges above him. Guards walking silently, ensuring his safety. He does not see them, but they see him. That is your story. You are not as exposed as you think. You are surrounded, and their role is not only protection, it is also guidance. Angels are messengers, aligning your path, whispering direction when you feel lost. How many times did you sense an inner nudge to turn left instead of right, to wait instead of rush? These moments are not random, they are assistance, subtle but powerful. Even in your loneliest seasons, you were never truly alone. While friends may have left, while voices may have silenced, heaven's assignments did not abandon you. They cannot. They are commanded to guard you, to walk with you, to ensure you reach the place God has marked for you. Picture a bridge shrouded in fog. You cannot see the end, and every step feels uncertain. Yet, beneath the bridge are pillars driven deep into the ground, holding you steady. You may not notice them, but without them, your journey would collapse. Angels are those hidden pillars, bearing weight unseen so that you can keep walking. This truth should lift the burden from your shoulders. You do not have to carry everything alone. You are not required to fight every battle by yourself. There are reinforcements, ancient and powerful, assigned specifically to your name. And as October 8th approaches, this reality becomes even more vital. The unveiling that is coming is not something you will step into unprotected. Heaven has already gone ahead of you. Angels have been positioned at the gates of your next season. They are preparing the ground, removing obstacles, holding back attacks you will never even know existed. So take courage. Even when you feel surrounded by chaos, remember you are more surrounded by protection. Even when fear whispers that you are alone, remind yourself of the eternal truth. You are never abandoned, never exposed, never left to fend for yourself. The reinforcements are real. The presence is certain. And as the days unfold, you will see clearer than ever that you have never walked a single step unaccompanied. Something is stirring in this generation. A sound rising like the rumble before a storm. It is the awakening of those set apart, the ones marked from birth, though often misunderstood. They are the ones who never quite fit in, the ones who felt out of place in the world's rhythm because their heartbeat echoed eternity. You are among them. You are part of a rising that cannot be silenced. Throughout history, God has always raised a remnant. In every generation, when darkness grew bold, a chosen few carried light strong enough to pierce it. In Egypt, there was Moses. In exile, there was Daniel. In Persia, there was Esther. These were not perfect people, nor were they always confident, but they carried within them a calling greater than the fear that surrounded them, and through them, entire nations shifted. As the prophet Joel proclaimed in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 28, "And afterward, I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will see visions." These words are not ancient history. They are a present reality. The Spirit is stirring now, awakening voices once silenced, lifting eyes once downcast, igniting hearts once weary. Imagine a battlefield at dawn. For a long while, the field is silent, mist covering the ground. Then, one by one, figures rise from the shadows. At first, they seem scattered, but as the light grows, it becomes clear they are not scattered. They are an army, moving in unison. That is what is happening in this season. The chosen are rising, and the world will not remain the same. Perhaps you have felt it already, the sense that your struggles were not just personal, but preparation. The weight you carried was not only for you, but for those who would one day draw strength from your endurance. The battles you fought in silence were training you to fight for others. This is the essence of being chosen. Your life is not a solitary flame. It is part of a greater fire. There was once a young woman who lived years in the shadows of doubt. She wondered why she always felt different, why the world's rhythms grated against her spirit. Then one day, while reading scripture, she saw herself in the stories of Esther and Deborah. She realized that her difference was not a defect, it was destiny. From that day, she rose with new courage. Stepping into leadership, she once thought impossible. Her story reflects the larger story of this generation, the awakening of the chosen, the rise of those who carry a mantle they did not choose but cannot deny. Chosen one. You must understand that your rising is not just for your benefit. It is for the countless lives connected to yours. A torch does not light itself for its own sake. It burns to illuminate the path for others. You are that torch. Your rising is a call to others still asleep in the dark. Picture seeds lying dormant beneath the soil. For a season, they are hidden, unseen, seemingly lifeless. Then the rain falls. The sun warms the ground, and suddenly the earth breaks open with green shoots. What looked like silence was preparation. What looked like death was waiting for the right season. That season is now. The chosen seeds are breaking through the soil. This rising will not be glamorous at first. It will not come with applause from the world. In fact, it may come with more resistance, more opposition, more misunderstanding. But that is how you know it is real. For what is born of God is always opposed by darkness, yet it cannot be extinguished. October 8th is a marker in this rising. It is not just about your personal breakthrough. It is about the sound of a larger awakening. The world may tremble with uncertainty, but heaven is stirring an army clothed not in fear, but in faith, not in pride, but in power. And you are among them. So let this truth settle deeply. You are not isolated. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are part of a remnant, a family, a movement stretching across generations and nations. The rise of the chosen is not coming, it has begun. And when you see the chosen rising, you will understand why your battles were so fierce. The opposition was never about your past, it was about your future. October 8th will reveal that the fire inside you was meant to ignite a generation waiting in shadows. The sound of your rising cannot be hidden. Every test you endured has been shaping you for this very moment. A crown of authority is being placed upon your life. Crowns are not cheap ornaments. They are forged through fire, hammered by trials, polished through tears. And when worn, they signify both burden and beauty. Chosen one, your crown is not of gold and jewels, but of glory and endurance. It represents the unseen victories, the quiet moments you chose faith over fear, the countless nights you whispered prayers when silence weighed heavy. This crown is heaven's acknowledgement. You have stood, and you are ready. And as declared in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 11, I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have, so that no one will take your crown. This crown is not reserved for ancient heroes. It is reserved for you. You who endured. You who still believe despite everything. You who chose to rise when you could have fallen. Picture yourself standing in a hall of mirrors. Each mirror shows you a version of your past, the tears, the doubts, the mistakes. But then, one mirror glows differently. In it, you see yourself crowned, radiant, standing tall. That is who you truly are. That is the reflection heaven sees, even when you struggle to believe it. And now, let me speak gently, with sincerity. Words like these remind us of your crown, encouragement for your weary spirit. Whispers of heaven's truth do not arrive without cost. They require time, effort, and prayer. If these words have touched your life, if they have rekindled something inside you, then I invite you freely and without pressure to keep this flame burning for others. Think of it this way: pressing like is like planting a seed in the soil. It looks small, but it grows into fruit that nourishes someone else tomorrow. Sharing this message is like placing a lantern on the path, guiding a weary traveler who has lost their way. Subscribing is like anchoring your roots beside a flowing river, choosing to remain where water never runs dry. If you feel led to donate, see it as pouring oil into a lamp. The flame you keep alive will not only light your room, but many others still walking in the dark. And if your heart feels stirred, you can also leave a comment. Think of it as carving your name on a stone altar, a sign that you were here and you agreed with heaven's whisper. This is not obligation, it is beauty. A tree does not force anyone to sit beneath its shade. Yet weary travelers rest there freely. In the same way, support is not demanded, it is offered as a gift, a chance to participate in something larger than yourself. There was once a man who carried a single candle through a storm. Its flame was small, fragile, and flickering, but another saw it and cupped his hands to protect it. Then another added their candle, then another, until the stormy night was lit by a sea of flames. That is what your engagement, your sharing, your giving becomes a collective fire that no darkness can extinguish. Every like is a whisper. I agree with this truth. Oh, every share is a hand extended. I will not keep this light to myself. Oh, every subscribe is a root driven deeper. I want to stay connected to the stream. Oh, every donation is a sacred act. I add oil to the lamp so it will burn longer. Oh, every comment is a stone of remembrance. I was here. I believed. I agreed. And none of these are forced. Each is voluntary, an offering of love, and each ensures that others who are weary, broken, and searching will one day stumble into light instead of darkness. Chosen one. October 8th draws near. That date will not be just a marker of your endurance, it will be the unveiling of your crown. And when that crown rests upon your life, it will shine brighter because of the choices you made, the battles you fought, and the ways you gave so that others could see the light. So let this be clear. Your crown is real. Your rising is near. And your part in this movement is precious. You are not just a receiver of words, you are a keeper of flame, a bearer of oil, a participant in something eternal. And as you walk forward, remember, the crown you wear is not only for you, it is a beacon. It tells others still in the valley that endurance is worth it, that the journey leads somewhere beautiful, that faith is never wasted. Thresholds are sacred places. They are not the beginning, and they are not the end. They are the in-between, the doorway where one chapter closes and another begins. October 8th is such a threshold for you. It is not the finish line of your journey, but it is the door to a realm you have not yet stepped into. Think of Israel standing before the Jordan River. Behind them lay the wilderness years of wandering, lessons learned through hardship. Before them stretched the land, promised generations earlier. The river was the threshold. Crossing it was more than a physical act. It was the shift from survival to inheritance. You, too, stand at your river. Behind you is a long season of endurance. Before you lies a promise you have yet to taste. as it is written in the book of Hosea, chapter 6, verse 3. Let us acknowledge the Lord. Let us press on to acknowledge him. As surely as the sun rises, he will appear. He will come to us like the rains. This is the command at every threshold: courage. Because thresholds are both exciting and terrifying. They require you to release what is familiar, to step into what is unknown. And though the unknown stirs fear, it also carries promise. Picture standing before a massive gate. Behind you, the landscape is familiar, even if it has been difficult. Ahead, the gate is carved with symbols you cannot fully understand. The door is heavy, and pushing it open requires both strength and trust. That is what this moment feels like. October 8th is not a casual step forward. It is a sacred crossing. There was once a young man who struggled to leave the past behind. He carried memories like heavy bags, unwilling to set them down. When new opportunities came, he hesitated, fearing that stepping forward would mean losing what was behind. One day, a mentor told him, "You cannot carry yesterday's stones into tomorrow's garden." That truth opened his eyes. The threshold demanded release, not clinging. The same is true for you. You cannot take everything with you across this doorway. Some things must remain behind. Thresholds are not only about gain, they are about letting go. Old mindsets, toxic attachments, cycles of fear they cannot pass with you into the next season. They are too heavy for the new ground you are about to step on. That is why, in these days leading up to October 8th, you may feel as though pieces are being stripped away. It is not loss. It is preparation. Imagine an eagle preparing for higher flight. As it rises, the air grows thinner, and it must release extra weight to soar. The eagle does not mourn what it releases, because it knows the higher it flies, the less it can afford to carry. That is what heaven is asking of you now. Release so you can rise. This threshold also carries responsibility. The land before Israel was promised, but it was not empty. Giants remained. Walls stood tall. Thresholds are not the end of struggle. They are the beginning of victory. Crossing does not erase challenge, but it equips you to face it differently. You will not fight as the weary wanderer you once were. You will fight as one crowned, strengthened, and aligned. Think of a seed breaking through the soil. For weeks, it grows unseen. Roots stretching deep, stem pushing upward. Then suddenly, the soil splits and the plant emerges. That breaking moment is not the end of growth. It is the beginning of visible life. October 8th is that breaking moment for you. It will not complete your story, but it will mark the visible unveiling of what has long been hidden. So do not underestimate this threshold. It is holy ground. To cross it is to agree with heaven's design, to step into the rhythm you were always meant to walk in. It may feel uncertain, even frightening, but it is also sacred, filled with promise and covered with God's presence. Chosen one. As the threshold draws near, prepare your heart. Release what must be released. Strengthen your courage. Lift your eyes beyond fear. For October 8th will not just be another sunrise, it will be the door swinging open. The moment of crossing. The step into a realm you have only dreamed of. And when you cross it, you will understand why the waiting was long, why the shedding was painful, and why the silence was necessary. The threshold will reveal. It was never loss, it was preparation for glory. Glory is not just a word. It is the unveiling of what was hidden. It is the moment when the light within finally shines without. When the promise planted long ago blossoms before the eyes of many. For you, chosen one. October 8th is not simply a date, it is a revelation. It is the hour when the unseen strength you carried will be made visible, when the crown forged in fire will rest upon your life, and when the world will see what heaven has always known about you. The Apostle Paul wrote in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9, "What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love Him." This is the essence of your unveiling. No human eyes could have predicted it. No ears could have fully comprehended it. No imagination could have captured it. The glory awaiting you is not borrowed, not second-hand. It is uniquely yours, crafted for your journey, sealed by your endurance. Think of a curtain drawn across a stage. For a long time, the audience waits, hearing only faint sounds behind the veil. They know something is coming, but they cannot yet see. Then suddenly, the curtain is pulled back, and what was hidden is revealed in full splendor. That is what October 8th will be for you, the pulling back of the curtain, the unveiling of the story heaven has been writing behind the scenes of your life. For years, you carried light in secret, like a lamp hidden under a bowl. It glowed quietly, but was unseen by many. That season was necessary, for the flame had to strengthen before it could withstand the winds. But now, the bowl is being lifted, the lamp will shine, and the light will not be ignored. There was once a young man who worked in obscurity. He labored faithfully, but nobody noticed. In hidden places, he trained, prayed, endured. One day, without warning, the season shifted. A door opened, and his hidden preparation was revealed. The world called it sudden, but heaven knew it had been years in the making. His unveiling was not luck, it was destiny arriving at its appointed hour. The same is true for you. Glory is not only about shining, it is about revealing what has been true all along. Gold does not become gold in the fire. It only reveals itself as pure once the impurities are burned away. You have always carried value, but now the fire has proven it. The unveiling will not change who you are. It will display who you have always been. Imagine walking into a vast gallery where a masterpiece has long been covered by cloth. The artist has worked tirelessly, but only a few glimpses were seen. Then comes the day of unveiling. The cloth is removed, and those present gasp, not because the art suddenly became beautiful, but because they finally see the beauty that had always been there. You are that masterpiece. The unveiling of October 8th is not your becoming, it is your revealing. And with this glory comes responsibility. Light cannot return to hiding once it shines. A crown cannot be ignored once it is worn. You will carry weight, not as a burden, but as honor. Your endurance has earned you the right to stand as a beacon. Others will look to you, not for perfection, but for testimony, for proof that endurance is worth it, that faith is not wasted, that storms can be survived. This is why your story matters. Your unveiling is not for applause, but for impact. The radiance you carry will not only mark you, it will ignite others. Flames spread when they touch. and your light will awaken fire in those who thought their glow had died. October 8th will be remembered not as a day of ordinary hours, but as the moment of extraordinary unveiling. The curtain will part, the crown will rest, the flame will shine, and the world will glimpse what heaven has always seen you. Unstoppable, unshakable, chosen to reign in light. And when that day comes, you will look back and understand why the nights were long, why the weight was heavy, why the silence was stretching. It was all leading to this hour, all shaping the vessel that could hold glory without breaking. What felt like punishment was preparation. What felt like delay was design. From October 8th forward, your walk will not be the same. The hidden will be revealed. The crown will be seen, and the light will shine unhindered. You will stand not as a survivor only, but as a testimony, living proof that God's timing is perfect. Chosen one, you have reached the end of this message, but not the end of your journey. October 8th is coming, and with it, a shift you cannot ignore. Every word spoken here was not coincidence. It was alignment, a reminder that you are seen, chosen, and crowned for such a time as this. And now, I invite you gently, freely, beautifully to respond in ways that let this flame keep burning. Press like if these words stirred something within you. It is like planting a seed in soil, small yet capable of growing into fruit that will nourish others. Share this message if you believe someone else is waiting in silence for the same reminder. It is like handing them a torch in the night. Subscribe if you know your heart needs to remain rooted in this stream. It is like choosing to stand beside a river that will not run dry. If your spirit feels led, you may also donate. Do not see it as obligation, but as pouring oil into a lamp. The flame will burn brighter, longer, reaching further than your eyes can see. Or think of it as adding a brick to a lighthouse. Your gift becomes part of a tower that guides countless travelers home through stormy seas. And finally, leave a comment, not as empty words, but as a stone of remembrance, your public declaration that you were here. You received. You agreed with heaven's whisper. Or picture it as planting a flag on sacred ground. A bold mark that says, "This moment changed me," and I claim it. Each act is voluntary. Each act is sacred. Together, they become a fire that spreads, a well that never runs dry, a light that cannot be hidden. So step forward now, not only as a hearer, but as a keeper of flame. October 8th is near. Your unveiling awaits, and the world needs the light you carry.